Seminole Indians, Florida's unconquered people. When the Creator, the Godfather of all things, created the earth, there were many things he wanted to put there: birds, animals, reptiles, insects, and many different living things. The Creator did have certain favorite animals. He liked the panther. The panther would sit beside the Creator, and he would pet the panther over and over across its long, soft, furry back. The Creator made sure that certain animals and plants possessed unique healing powers. When the Creator touches certain things longer than normal, his powers automatically go into what he touches. He told Panther, "When it's complete, I would like for you to be the first to walk on the earth. You are majestic and beautiful. You have patience and strength. There is something special about you. You are the perfect one to walk the earth first." Creator went to work making all sorts of animals and birds. Animals on all fours, animals with hooves, animals with paws, birds with claws, insects, reptiles. There was nothing the Creator left out. When the earth was ready, Creator put all the animals in a large shell. He set it along the backbone of the earth, the real high mountains. When the timing is right, he told the animals, the shell will open and you will all crawl out. Someone or something will crack the shell, and you must all take your respective places on the face of the earth. The Creator then sealed up the shell and left hoping the panther would be first to come out. Time went along and nothing happened. Alongside the shell stood a great tree. As time passed, the tree grew so large that its roots started encircling the shell. Eventually, a root cracked the shell. The panther was patient, which the Creator liked, but at this particular time, Panther was too patient. The wind started circling around the crack, round and round the inside, so vigorously that the crack was made larger. The wind, however, remembered that the Creator wished for the panther to be the first on earth. "We will fulfill the Creator's wishes," said the wind, reaching down to help the panther take its place on earth. The wind was everywhere. The wind was the air we breathe. After wind helped the panther out first, the panther thanked wind for the honor. Next to crawl out was the bird. The bird had picked and picked around the hole, and when the time was right, stepped outside the shell. Bird took flight immediately. After that, other animals emerged in different sequences. There were thousands of others, so many that no one besides the Creator would even begin to count them all. All went out to seek their proper places on earth. Meanwhile, as Bird was flying around looking for a place to live on earth, the Creator was watching. He watched each animal and did not intervene, but left the animals on their own. The Creator often allows things to happen along their own sequences. Sometimes a thing must happen on its own merits. When the Creator saw that all was done, he decided to name the animals and put them into clans. For being such a good companion, the Creator rewarded the panther with special qualities. "Your clan will have the knowledge for making laws and for making the medicine which heals," Creator told Panther. "You and Panther will be in possession of all knowledge of different things. The panther will have the power to heal different ailments and to enhance mental powers." Creator believed the actions of the wind were very honorable and noble, so he told the wind, "You will serve all living things so that they may breathe. Without the wind or air, all will die." "The bird, for being able to take flight, will be ruler of the earth," said the Creator. "The bird will make sure that all things are put in proper places on earth." So this is how the beginning was made. Some call it creation, though there are many, many animals put on this earth by Creator. All came to know their proper places on earth. Many tribes in the southeastern area of the United States traveled into Florida to get away from the European conquerors and explorers that were coming over, bringing disease and war and all of that. They all journeyed down into the Everglades, and they ended up being the tribe that we know as the Seminole Indians. Along with many different native tribes that formed this one, there was also what is referred to as Black Indians. They were the escaped slaves from these plantations and slaveholders that had escaped and came down, and they became part of the Seminole Indians as well. They lived with them. They did everything with them. They picked up their culture. They also fought alongside them in all of the Seminole Wars that were there. The name Seminole comes from Spanish origin, meaning wild one. The Seminole Indian tribe also refers to themselves as the unconquered people. Both of those are kind of from the same thing. The war tactics that were used in the Everglades and their ability to hide during the different Seminole wars that were going on gave them that name, the wild one. That's what they were known as. They called themselves the unconquered people because they never ended up really having a peace treaty with this tribe. They couldn't find them all. They couldn't get them. They just kind of left them to be theirself. One thing that I found very, very interesting is that I actually was born in Florida, Miami, very close to the Everglades, and as I grew up, I got to see what those were like. The fact that this group of people were able to make a home there and live and prosper in that type of environment, and with the dangers that come with that, is just something that's completely incredible. The Seminole Indians, they did convert to Christianity. They were mainly Roman Catholic and they were Protestant. They do continue to celebrate their native religions, especially with the green corn ceremony and with their different stomp dances that they have. They've actually kind of mingled all of that together, and they have different stomp dances for different things. One of the stomp dances that they still do actually came about, was the very first one. It pays tribute to the whooping crane. One of their very first ancestors, thousands and thousands of years ago, got lost after taking a nap. The whooping crane helped him find his way home, and in return, they have to open all of their ceremonies and certain other dances that they do. The one for the whooping crane has to come first. So I find it very interesting that they can mingle the two religions and still be who they are. The Seminole Indians, their family and gender roles were kind of the same. The men and women did not have many differences between their self, such as far as sex-wise. The women would maintain the house, but they built it, and they would take care of the structure, the roof. They would do the household things, the children. The men were the hunters and gatherers, but they would also help with the children or do different things like that. They can hold office, male or female. They can be the artist, or they can kind of do whatever they want to do. There's not necessarily a set role for either one, which is really great. One difference with that is men are not allowed to tackle women during the game of stickball. Women didn't have to use a stick. They could use their hands and their feet, but men were not allowed to tackle them during the game. I would assume that would probably go through with everything else. Any violence toward women held severe punishments in the tribe. The Seminole Indians have really prospered in Florida. They have built a really big economic base for their reservations. They're also really big into politics. Between 2012 and 2015, they donated $2.7 million to 90 different politicians. A lot of these donations and their political activity does have to do with the gambling facilities that are on their reservations that is bringing in so much income and opportunity for them. The Seminole Indians have prospered over time, and they have built a giant empire on their reservations. Their reservations are split up between 6 different pieces of Florida. It's the largest tribe that is not connected in North America. They employ, at their different facilities, they employ Native Americans as well as non-Native Americans. They have so many different services that they can offer. It's almost like it's an own entire little world, and they're really part of their community. They have an aviation department, building inspections, broadcasting department, behavioral health. They have education division, public works, health department. They have a tribal historic preservation office, veterans building. They have Hard Rock cafes in 2 different locations that they use for employment that are part of their reservation for their hotels and their casinos. They have all kinds of things that they have kind of, brought to theirself. They didn't give up. They were unconquered. The Seminoles were quite different in a way than many other tribes, and even just different than the Europeans that came over. A lot of people repressed women or they kind of looked the other way when things happened. The Seminoles were not like that. They don't discriminate. They allowed the freed slaves, or the escaped slaves, I should say, to come down and be free and live with them. They allow women to hold office. They did not condone violence for women, and you would have severe punishments for that. They fought very hard for what they have today and to be who they are. And a lot of things that we went over as far as how repressed a lot of the tribes are, and how there's so much depression and different things that kind of have happened. And the Seminoles are different. They didn't stop fighting. They're still fighting. They are building and making better things for their people, and still passing down all of their legends and myths and stories, and taking care of their people. And it's just really great to see.